pieces on the solo album were all composed between September 2010 and 2011, and they sort of capture one particular place in artistic development, like a little snapshot, if you like, of what I was working on at the time. I focused a little bit more on the emotional content in the compositions and performance than in previous recordings, where it's been sort of more technically based perhaps, and I think that by having a composition that is relatively recent when I come to record it, it helps to be more in touch with where you're at when you compose it. If there's years between the composition and the performance, I think that what tends to happen is the artist gets a little bit distanced from the space they were in when they were writing the tune, and sometimes that can be great, but I just kind of wanted to, in this particular project, engage with what was happening, of just, I suppose, making it more immediate between the compositional side of things and the performance recording side of things. Most of the composition that I do sitting down at the piano, and I just sit down and start playing, and an idea comes up, might develop it, work on it a bit, put it down on paper, work on it some more, put it on computer, work on it some more, and eventually have something that then is matured enough that I can start to learn how to play it. So it's not always the case that what I've written is something that I can play. I guess in many ways the desire to hear my own compositions has driven a lot of my technical development. But yeah, so the compositions happen at the piano, and I do most of my playing at the piano. It's where I spend all my practice time, and every day I'm playing at the piano. So I wanted to represent that and just get that immediacy between the compositional moment and the performance moment. So solo piano kind of made sense to do it like that. I like my compositions to be open to interpretation. I like the audience to be able to hear what they hear in it, and not for me to try and direct listening in a certain way. And for that reason I keep my titles sort of very open-ended. But there are themes in this album, themes of dreaming, of fantasy, of desire, and when those things meet with reality, because it's not always the way that those desires and dreams turn out the way that we intend for them, and meeting that is a particular kind of interest of mine at the moment, and that's I suppose the philosophical and emotional background to the time when I was composing the tunes. So that's where they get their titles from, and it may or may not be what the audience might hear in the music, and that's fine. I kind of would like that people are able to hear something else and something that they can relate to strongly, or just to sit back and listen and enjoy it.